Hi, welcome. So this is my mini web series called Beyond the Blurb, where I take some of my personal favorite books and I just talk about them, about the plot, and hopefully give you a little book recommendation towards the end if you're feeling like it. So to start the series off, I'm going to be talking about one of my personal favorite books. It's called They Shoot Horses, Don't They? It's written by Horace McCoy. This book is unknown for some reason. No one knows about it. It's incredible. It was recommended to me on Amazon, and if you know me in person, you know I have not shut up about this book since I read it, and any chance I get, I bring it up. So it feels like quite a decent book to bring up in the web. So now start it off, kick it off. So a bit about the plot. It's set in Los Angeles in the Great Depression. The two main characters are a young man named Robert and a young woman called Gloria. They, from the start of the nick, they completely contrast each other. Robert's this optimist, sort of hopeful guy that's just kind of keeps to himself. He's very introverted. And then you have Gloria, who's this outlandish pessimist. And she's very negative. She's had a very horrible start to life. She's very depressed and angry. She has this deep and unsettling anger within her for everything that she's had to endure. They're both young, they're both creative, they want to both break into Hollywood, but it's very difficult at the time. Especially, not at the time, and nowadays, it's very difficult to break into the industry. So, they find each other in this random setup, and they decide, well, she actually decides to push him into joining this dance marathon with her. He negates it. He's like, I've got a cough, I'm not really, no thanks, but he can't say no, so he ends up just joining it with her anyway. And so they join this dance marathon. This dance marathon is a sequence of 90-minute pauses of non-stop movement, so you have to be dancing, but if you're just swaying, it's kind of allowed, mixed with 10-minute breaks. In these breaks you can sleep and you can eat and drink, and all of this is given to you by the hosts, so they get a bit of a break in the meanwhile. And it was also a push for a lot of these people to do the dance marathon because of the Great Depression. A lot of people were starving and they didn't have homes, so it was really kind of even just to participate, and if you didn't win the money, you still got a bed for at least 2 days and some food in your system. So between that, and then there would also be these derbies where every so few hours a bell would ring and they would have to run around the lap for I'd say, I think it was 15 minutes. Don't remember that exactly, but you would have to just non-stop running, and it would be a race, and the last 3 couples that were at the back of the end would get disqualified. So it was these very intense conditions, and it's not like your little humoured contest or competition that you'd have in the thing. In an episode, it's actually a reference in an episode of Gilmore Girls, they reference it, and duck. They reference it, and it's obviously a lot lighter of a version. They've also got a movie based off of They Shoot Horses, Don't They? So you can watch the movie and sort of imagine these intense situation that they have. And sort of this book goes over many different topics, but this layout is such a addictive way to speak about of these topics and all of this stress. It is a psychological drama, obviously, and in short, I would like to the book is a nihilistic allegory for how humans will endure situations and this profit-driven society that we've built around ourselves. It's grueling, it's addictive, it's such a good novel. You can't put it down from the second you start it. And even though it was written 90 years ago, it still maintains such a strong contemporary air. It shadows a lot of reality TV show that we see today's age. It shadows a lot of YouTube videos that we see in today's age, and all of these intense situations that humans will endure to gain, whether it's financial aid, just or fame itself, that we're all searching, and that we are the ultimate form of entertainment. So yeah, there's many different themes that it tackles. Mainly the cruelty of capitalism and how humans are very easily to be manipulated and exploited, and especially when you're young. And they take this sort of essence of hopes and dreams, and they can be like, oh, well, you can do this, but you've got to do this first. And it's heart-wrenching. It's incredible, the novel. It talks about the human's capacity to endure. What do you endure? A man has a heart attack, and most of the people there see the heart attack, and they see this man dying before them, and they continue to dance. They endure not just so much physical but psychological issues. The never-ending hope, obviously. Gender inequality and power dynamics. You see a lot of sexism play into part. You see a lot of these women. No, there's flies. You see a lot of these women that, by the hosts, they're sort of being nudged and very commented on their physical bodies, and sort of being told, well, I'll give you a little help if you... So it really does tackle a lot of issues. It tackles also the topic of women's reproductive freedom rights and healthcare rights, where there's one of the couples in the marathon who Gloria clashes with a lot. She's very pregnant. And everyone that's in putting themselves through this marathon is very obviously homeless and starving and has very, very little money. And Gloria basically confronts her and says, who are you? Who are you to bring a child into your situation? The child is innocent, and you're condemning it to a life of misery. You're condemning it to a life of poverty, because they don't know what's going to happen. They didn't know that America was going to recover. It was the Great Depression. They had no hope. That's why it's called the Great Depression. So yeah. It's loss of identity and dehumanizations. You see one of the main characters is like this wanting to be an actress. A lot of them want to be actresses, but especially this one, she's spotless. She takes very good care of herself. And you can see that towards the end, she's not right anymore. Like, the severe consequences of this competition has led her to lose this piece of herself, and she won't really be the same again, and she's not gonna remember who she was from before this, because all she remembers is being in this marathon. Maybe she'll recover, but it's unlikely. And this dehumanization, you see it especially in the women that are being completely sexualized by these men, and you see it often with the people that faint, and they're being put in ice baths to wake them up so that they can continue this competition. Like, the competition will always come first, and then the health will come second. And if the hosts can, they'll push it so that there's more drama. They'll start a fight. They'll push everyone to the edge, because it's a show and they want to entertain the public. So I want to just end the episode on just a little quote from the book, which I'll read, obviously, because I got my little notepad. There is no new experience in life. Something may happen to you that you think has never happened before, that you think is brand new, but you are mistaken. You have only to see or smell or hear or feel a certain something, and you will discover that this experience you thought was new has happened before. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, it's probably going to be a bit of a flop, but I like this idea, this series, so hopefully I'll have time and it'll continue. I'm currently reading, let me grab it out. I'm currently reading Middlemarch, so that, I have a feeling this is going to be the next one I talk about. I don't know, I have a whole list, so yeah. If you want to leave a like, leave a like. If you want to follow. Each to their own. Thank you so much, and